NASA held an historic public meeting today. The topic, UFOs. And as CBS 2's Danya Backus reports, they want better data to try and understand these mysteries in the sky.
My gosh.
UFOs are real, but what really are they? NASA's newly formed 16-member panel is charged with figuring out how the space agency can use the tools of science to help the federal government understand what's going on in the sky and how it affects Earth.
The study of unidentified anomalous phenomena represents an exciting step forward in our quest to uncover the mysteries of the world around us.
NASA says citizens, commercial airline pilots, and the Department of Defense have reported at least 800 UAP sightings over the past 27 years.
Between 2 and 5% of those events display signatures that could be anomalous, defined as anything that is not readily understandable by the operator or the sensor, something that is doing something weird.
Experts say identifying a UAP is like finding a needle in a haystack, especially since there's a lot going on in the sky. On any given day, there are 45,000 airline flights and 184 weather balloon launches in U.S. airspace. There are also 1.6 million recreational or model planes and 880,000 registered drones.
And the environment that we fly in, space or, an atmospheric flight, very, very conducive to optical illusions.
The panel says while UAPs exist, there is no evidence they are extraterrestrial in origin.
We haven't found life beyond Earth yet, right? Let's be clear about this. We haven't found it yet, but we're looking.
A final report is expected by the end of July.
Is there anybody out there, a group of NASA scientists investigating whether extraterrestrial life is out there? Today, the independent study group looking into data related to unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. Now, you might know them better by their former term, UFOs. Speakers at the meeting say there are unusual incidents which should be investigated further, but there is nothing definitive to say whether or not there is extraterrestrial life. So joining us now is Jeremy Corbell, who obtained and released the military-filmed, Pentagon-confirmed UFO videos, which put into motion the first congressional hearings on UFOs in over 50 years. He was the only civilian specifically named, and his work credited in the opening of the congressional UFO hearing. Jeremy, thank you so much for your time today. I know you certainly were listening in on today's hearing. People really hoping for some big moment where NASA kind of gave some explanation for UFOs that have been spotted in the past. Did we get any big breakthroughs in today's hearing?
Well, I think just the fact that NASA has come forward and is publicly talking about this is so important. They even opened with that they're trying to destigmatize UAP or UFO reporting. It was Dr. Nikki Fox, I believe, and she opened saying that they suffered online abuse and harassment just for discussing the UFO or UAP mystery. So the fact they're trying to destigmatize is so important. We did learn some things. We learned that the FAA received 68 UAP reports just in February alone. We've learned that ERA, which is our government UFO or UAP study program, has now over 800 active cases. We've learned that UAP are admittedly a national security concern, and NASA's role is becoming clear in this. It's to remove the stigma, enroll more scientists to encourage UFO or UAP reporting, and help to seek and provide high quality data so that other organizations can study it too. So I'm very encouraged by what we saw today.
All right. So Jeremy, this hearing, in advance, as you know, of this full report, which is supposed to be released in the coming months, what do you think we will learn, we will see if and when that report is in fact released to the public?
Right. So as the scientific community kind of loses their bias, because it's admitted on that stage today that bias still exists, but as that data comes in, we'll get a better sorting process. Remember, it's only like maybe 5% of these unidentifieds. When you follow a case and you really go for it and you get all the data, it's like 5% is usually unexplainable. So what are they going to find? Well, the big question really everybody wants to know is, where are UFOs from? There's been a presence of UFOs or UAP here for a long time. So everybody wants to know, who are they from? Who's piloting them? How do they make them? Where are the factories? What do they represent to humanity? So this whole thing is about UAP transparency. One of the guys there from the FAA, Michael Freary, I believe, he says, we don't even know the phenomenology of what we're looking for. But then there was a woman there named Jen Buss, and she kind of said out loud, well, we know that there are UAP or UFO hotspots. So I think that by studying this, we're going to learn to better sort the data. What is a UAP and what is not? And that's the challenge.
Well, Jeremy, you were on News Nation last week and you were talking about this possible mass UFO sighting over California. You said the military is covering up information about that sighting. Here is this video we're taking a look at right now, or actually the picture. Jeremy, why should we believe what the people on this NASA panel told us today?
Right. Well, I never said the government is covering up that sighting. That is an active and open investigation into something that over 50 Marines saw at the 29 Palms military base. And some people think it's flares. The Marines feel that they saw a craft. But this is what I'm talking about. There's so much stigma out there. All we're trying to do is solve a case, just one. And if we can get other people to help with this and find definitive answers, we're going to be living in a different world, because UFOs are real. They represent machines of unknown origin that can outpace, outmaneuver, and outperform anything that the United States government has. So the question from a national security standpoint is, who is operating these vehicles and why?